Starting off, let's get to know more about this feathered fiend. The species we'll be focusing on today will be the wild turkey, which has 6 subspecies all across North America. Turkeys are part of a taxonomical order known as the Galliforms, the same group that birds such as chickens, quails, and pheasants belong to. This group of birds are known for being ground foragers, and they often play an important role in dispersing seeds and controlling insect populations. One of the most noteworthy traits of the North American turkey is their sexual dimorphism, with males, or toms, known for having more plumage and a bright red neck, as well as their signature wattle, a fleshy outgrowth hanging from its head. Fun fact, but baby turkeys have their own names, with male chicks known as Jakes and female chicks being known as Jennies, with the gender-neutral name for a chick being Poult. As crazy as it is to imagine turkeys not being a common sight, there was a point where they were on the brink of extinction, as European settlers arrived to the continent and made their way westward. Turkeys were harvested en masse for food, so much so that, by the early to mid-20th century, turkeys were almost wiped out, with only 30,000 birds left in the wild. They were almost completely wiped out in Canada, their range in the US only going as eastward as Appalachia. Thankfully, due to intense conservation efforts, their numbers rebounded. Currently, the wild turkey population sits at around 7 million, a population that is around 233 times the size of their historic low. If their looks didn't give away the fact that turkeys are peculiar birds, then their behavior certainly does. The image of a thick, stocky turkey making a ruckus is one that's commonly associated with them. This behavior is known as drumming, and it is usually employed when turkeys demonstrate aggressive behaviors or showcase dominance as demonstrated here. And though they look quite goofy, turkeys have the ability to cause someone a lot of damage. On their feet are hardened talons that they usually use to forage and land on tree branches, but these talons can be used offensively or defensively, such as fighting other male turkeys. Additionally, turkeys on average weigh around 24 pounds, which is quite large for a flying bird. The turkey's beak is also strong enough to crush seeds and nuts, and turkeys are some of the most aggressive in this regard. If you ever find yourself on the receiving end of a turkey's aggression, remember to make yourself as big and loud as possible, and also don't be afraid to throw hands if you need to. Now then, let's dive into some examples of what the true terror of the Thanksgiving turkey looks like. But before that, if you wish to see more content covering a wide variety of peculiar, disturbing, and bizarre topics, then please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to use the recently introduced hype feature to get this video off the ground. I want to make more of an effort to continue making videos, and your support really helps keep me going. Anyhow, let's dive into what turkeys are truly capable of. We've all known about the stereotype of mailmen and delivery drivers being attacked by a neighbor's unruly dog. Well, turkeys seem to despise the postal service just as much, as there are numerous incidents of turkeys chasing and attacking mailmen. This is exemplified in a case from 2023. On a quaint April day in Cambridge, Massachusetts, veteran mail carrier Eddie Mitchell was doing his usual rounds for delivering mail. However, this day would quickly go downhill. 2 resident turkeys approached and began to aggressively gobble at the mailman. When Mitchell was walking into his truck, the turkeys flew right at him, knocking him over. Hearing him scream, a neighbor shooed the turkeys away. Mitchell was not left unscathed from this incident. The encounter left him receiving a broken hip. This isn't the only instance of turkeys being a nuisance in the area, as locals have reported that they have quite the penchant for chasing after and attacking other mail-carrying vehicles. Mailmen aren't the only victims of turkey attacks. In fact, turkeys don't really discriminate as to who will be the recipient of their wrath. Back in 2019, Cambridge, Massachusetts resident Kenda Carlson reported her encounter with 2 ferocious turkeys. Carlson, who was 7 months pregnant at the time, was walking near her house when she was being followed by 2 toms. The toms started to aggressively peck the back of her legs, only stopping their assault when a neighbor came outside with a broom. This attack led her to receiving welts on the back of her legs. This was only the first time that she would be attacked that week, as a few days later, when walking to her job at a nearby campus, the turkeys returned and attacked the back of her legs again. This time, she did not receive as many injuries, but the 2 attacks have left Carlson to view turkeys with a larger sense of wariness. That previous incident, however, doesn't truly grasp how much of a menace these birds can be. You see, turkeys are capable of becoming a force of mayhem and destruction towards communities in the suburbs. Areas where turkeys have seen more recent growth, such as the Midwest, have started to experience the scourge of neighborhood bully turkeys. The folks of Coon Rapids, Minnesota, a community centered around a trailer park, has had an aggressive tom strut around and cause trouble around Thanksgiving of 2021. One resident described how they were attacked by the turkey almost every day. Be it walking down the stairs or going towards their car, the turkey makes his move and goes on the attack. It got to the point where residents carry golf clubs with them to fend him off. Another Midwestern suburb in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, has seen a number of turkeys terrorize locals. One resident stated that they were scratched, leading to a wound that required them to take a tetanus shot. The resident stated that fighting back against the turkey was ineffective at the time, as kicking it in the head only pissed it off even more. If that's not enough, not even our nation's capital is safe from the turkey onslaught. Washington, D.C., normally known as a bustling metropolis full of workaholics, is actually home to a large biking community. One popular trail is close to a park called Kettlewood Park, where many turkeys like to hang out. In spring of 2022, one Tom decided to make his feelings on cyclists known. He decided to unleash his anger on any passing cyclists in the area, often puffing himself up and charging at cyclists. One cyclist reported almost getting knocked off his bike before the angry Tom turned his attention towards a female cyclist. As the cyclist quotes, "Just riding along the path, this gigantic turkey just kind of jumps towards my face, almost claws me in the face. So kind of knocked me off my bike, and they proceeded to chase me around for 5 minutes. I put the phone down and picked up the biggest twig I could find and started whacking the bird twice." So it turns out, turkeys are probably one of the most underestimated animals around. Belying the goofy appearance of a portly, unwieldy bird is a ferocious beast waiting to be unleashed, and one that, unknowingly or not, is ready to take revenge for what takes place every last Thursday of November.